have anxiety or are struggling to lose the last 10 to 20 pounds, you have difficulty focusing, or what about this sort of like profound fatigue that is unresolved by any amount of sleep? Or how about being hungry after eating? Because those symptoms are shared by, I don't know, a dozen hormone imbalances, you really have to zero in on the common denominator, and that is your blood sugar, but more specifically, the hormone insulin. All right, so I'm a visual learner. Let me draw you a picture so this makes more sense, but first I've got to erase this week's dinners and write it down so I don't forget. All right, let me make this as simple as possible for you to understand. Anytime you eat anything, you get a spike in your blood sugar. This happens even when you eat a salad. Your genius pancreas, this lovely organ in your body, releases your hormone called insulin. Its job is to tell glucose where to go. Maybe to your muscles because you need it and you're going to train. Maybe to your liver so that you can store it and use it for energy later. In women that have hormone imbalances, insulin's telling glucose to be stored as fat. Glucose is almost like a yo-yo, and all my patients with hormone imbalances know this because they've at one time or another experienced the effects of hyper and hypoglycemia. You know what that feels like because glucose rises and falls rather easily. Insulin does not. It stays high. It is a hormone. It does not rise and fall like glucose does. The snacking that we do with the lack of protein, fat, and fiber in our diets, insulin stays high, and insulin that is high is not as sensitive to the presence of glucose once she spikes again, and then we have something called insulin resistance. This is how you play the long game, ladies. Your hormone balance house needs a nice, strong foundation that comes from blood glucose regulation and insulin sensitivity.